going. Like, all of this is on tape now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I don't have a remote. All right. Cam interview here. And I'll let her introduce herself. We went to FITM together for school, and I thought having an interview with her today would be a great look into another person that's doing jewelry at a different stage, and she did it differently than I did. And yeah, let's go for it. First of all, tell us who you are and about your collection.
I'm Alex, and my collection is like water does, and I am a solely online jewelry seller for now. Ocean inspired, goddess inspired, crystal inspired, just like, living like water does.
And obviously, you are one class ahead of me, so why don't you take us from when you graduated, like, what was your path?
Yeah.
And it can go like this, because I feel like that's always how it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I pretty much took my final collection from my FITM, final, and just put a few more pieces into production because I already had, and I was like ready to go, and I just wanted to do it. But I was, had no idea what I was doing because I didn't feel like I really got the right education. It was like I could make it. And so I went on Rio, and I'm like a Rio Pro member now because I bought a Rio Pro job. And I was like, yes, I've got all my stuff and
got all my tools.
But then it's like, like what do we do now? So I actually got offered a paid internship with LZZR Jewelry, Liz came to judge the final. And so I did that for a while, and that was interesting because she was super open, really the first person that I had met who was open to
sharing
secrets. And so I would just ask questions. I was doing a lot of assembly, electric soldering.
Oh.
Yeah, which was super weird and
that's interesting.
But, really got to see how she ran her business more than just make the jewelry, because I know how to make the jewelry. And so that's where it kind of all started. And while I was doing that, I was slowly just getting stuff made, through the caster that we all went to. But then I was like, I'm never going to be able to produce as much as I need to by myself in that scary warehouse that I was in.
She was in Long Beach.
Yeah,
not digging it.
I was in Long Beach in a big old warehouse by myself, and it was lonely. And so I found a manufacturer. I know I had talked to you about, and I wasn't anywhere ready to take on the number of fashion
units.
Yes, yeah. I was just so not ready for that. So I decided just to go to Vermeil, and so I had my manufacturer, and we were doing gold-plated silver. And then this collection is, I decided to make the switch to gold because
so you're halfway there with Vermeil.
Yeah, I was halfway there, and for me personally, jewelry is I love the idea of it being treasure, and I love mermaids, and I love the idea of these pieces being something that you would keep and you would pass down, and they're in your little box, and you wear them, and they make you feel beautiful. So gold was the perfect thing for me. So I made the switch, and actually it wasn't that much more expensive to switch to gold from Vermeil.
Isn't that wild?
Because you have that extra step in the manufacturing process that added a lot of money.
And it restricts a lot of what you can do.
Yeah.
When it's that too. And I feel like consumers don't really understand what that is. They're like, why am I paying for silver under gold plating?
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's
It's something they teach us in school that is really up there, but no one else got that notice.
Oh.
Nobody else is looking for Vermeil.
Yeah.
Cool. So now you're doing solid gold.
Yes.
And that's when, is that kind of, you have someone now producing all of your solid gold pieces.
Yes.
How is that going? Do you like are you working with minimums? How are you handling all of that?
Well, yeah, it's really, he does everything for me. His name is Nazar.
Nazar.
Lucky
Shout
Hand
out to
Jewelry.
Nazar.
Yeah.
Oh, at Lucky Hand?
Yeah.
Oh,
and like
nice.
it really started out, I was just kind of like, it's so funny because I'm kind of shy, and so going into starting my own business is like good and bad for me because it's hard for me to work for somebody else,
Right.
but you know, I really have to push myself to get where I need to get and talk to people the way I need to talk to them. And so I was just kind of feeling out this guy, and he was super nice. You know, it's hard to find a really nice Armenian jewelry designer in downtown. They're kind of mean, and like I don't mean to say that. I mean, they're just
Well, they're also not into like dealing with women sometimes.
Exactly. And so, you know, I would come in with my smile and just be like, "Hi, Nazar," like Lola, and he'd be like, "Hello, Alexandra." You know, come in and like kind of push, like, you know, I was really hoping that we could do this. Do you do this? And then slowly I was kind of adding new things into the jewelry, and I would bring my wax, and then he would be kind of annoyed with what I brought in and would suggest maybe redoing it in CAD. And so I started working with him in CAD.
Oh, okay.
Which was just kind of like, I didn't need to go to somebody else. He does it all too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if he's doing the CAD and then he's casting it and working with it, he probably knows the best. Because then if he messes up in CAD, that's on him.
yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. He really does, you know, a lot of times I bring in the wax first. And if it's really weird, if it's a really weird design, he'll redo it in CAD. So
Yeah.
but there are specific
Can you
pieces.
explain quick, because obviously you and I know what wax, like,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
explain that? Because I'm not sure the 20 people watching this know what wax is.
Okay, so, well, wax is wax, and there's all different kinds of wax that you can cut and shape and melt and mold.
You have like the
into-
little tool, like it looks like a pen.
Yeah,
Yeah, over there.
yeah. It's
I can show it.
wax
later.
pen to, you know, connect lines and joints and all that sort of stuff.
So you're basically making a sample out of wax,
Yeah.
and that's what we give to someone that's casting. And then the wax gets melted out, the metal goes in, and it fills the cavity.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, instead, she's doing it, rather than doing it by hand, doing it on a computer. Yeah. Because I've talked about CAD before, but
Yeah.
I have never personally done much wax. I think I did, my
Oh.
very first piece was in wax. Not that it was a failure, but
Yeah.
like you said, sometimes you bring in something that's weird and they look at you like, this is not going to cast
He
correctly.
looks at me like that all
Yeah.
the time. But so yeah, I still do that at the beginning of each collection. I'm so visual, and
Mhm.
CAD was really hard for me to get a grasp on. So it's cool that I can work with him, but I've got to get everything laid out in wax first so I can see it, and I can see the size, and I can hold it up and
Yeah.
see, you know, how cohesive it all is together, and then bring it all in. And,
Yeah, and then he can like redo it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So what, like, through that process, what was the hardest, if you had to like name one thing, what was the hardest part?
My whole
Yeah, if you were to kind of like list one or two of the big pitfalls that you feel like you made, what would you be like, hey, don't do this? I mean, it's all learning, so you kind of needed to, as I needed
Yeah.
to, but if you had to
to
like recommend something.
yeah, and I'm still going through that, so I mean, it's
Me too.
like I'm no expert by any means. So I guess I made a bunch of pieces and I wasn't, you know, I had my loan, you know,
Mhm.
took out my loan to start my company, and being an artist and going to college for painting and just like being an artist, you know, nothing business-wise.
No,
and
me
just
neither.
like making stuff and like paying for stuff and like not keeping track of what you're paying and like not keeping track of receipts. And you know, I have an accountant now who's like, so well, you know, so petty cash. She asked me if I had like $5,000 of petty cash on me, and I was like, no.
Would you want to? Was that? I think we can both agree on the fact that paying for an accountant off the bat, while it doesn't seem necessary, is so necessary. I think I'm still untangling the bundle of like twine from QuickBooks that when I started the business.
Yeah.
It's like a cat that played with string and no one can find the end.
Yeah.
That's like where I'm at with that.
She told me, she's like, if you're gonna mess it up, you just call me. Like, don't start pushing
Because you totally know when you're gonna mess it up. Not at all.
Yeah.
You think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like a thing you want to waste your money on in the beginning, but...
And it's hard. It's hard to spend money on those things that you can't see, but it is so important. I don't know where we'd be right now if I didn't have one.
Yeah. Okay, so number one thing, get an accountant. Get an accountant. So, and maybe another thing, so I've talked about the fact that I do have a showroom, so I've gone that route.
Yeah.
But given that you're doing your own sales, what have you kind of learned through that process?
It's really hard, man. It's like, it's just so much rejection. Online sales, it's all about Instagram and social media. You don't get any traffic to your site if you're not posting 2 to 3 posts a day, and like really, you know, which I can't wait till I can hire a social media person because I'm not good at it. I'm just like,
it's not my favorite thing either, but I've like really sucked it up.
Yeah,
you can't, like, you have to.
You've got to. So it's just, you know, emails, sending out emails. You have to be tough. You can't break me. You know, I just got a rejection today. It's like, okay, it hurt a lot. I texted my fiance. I was like, this hurts.
It does. It kind of stings every time.
Yeah. And it's like, you can't take it personally though. It's just, you know, it's either they have too much of what you're making or it's just not a right fit. And I get it, but it still hurts.
Yeah, you want to offload those pieces if you can.
So, you know, I really haven't been, you know, I can talk about the struggle, but I haven't had any success in, you know, really finding some place where my stuff is going to fit well. So really, it's just all online.
Yeah. Okay, so on like a lighter note, what do you feel like your successes have been? Because that was really depressing.
It's not depressing.
No, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's super real. Rejection is, I think that was the video I just did last, is like losing clients and bouncing back from that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that shit's daily.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well,
so what
do other people?
Yeah, right? We're all sucking together.
Yeah.
Because it is impersonal.
Yeah.
They don't know you, like, you know, it's not what it's about. So what do you feel like your successes have been? Where have your wins been for doing this?
Well, actually, I knew a girl through my fiance. Her name is Christen Maldonado of the Pentatonics, and she reached out to me because she was looking to expand her merchandise kind of business. You know, when she's not on tour, you know, that's kind of important to kind of build her merchandise. And so she was looking to do a collaboration with me, probably because I was the only jewelry designer she knew. So,
I mean, give yourself a little more credit than that.
I'm just kidding. And so we met, and she was, you know, interested. So we kind of, it wasn't enough time. She wanted a piece that she could wear to the Grammys, and then she could make available on her merchandise site for everybody to get the piece that she wore to the Grammys. So we decided on my Venus necklace, and we did a special little engraving for the limited edition of pieces. And so I put that in production, and was kind of like I did not I like waived right to profit because I really needed more just like the traffic,
The publicity, yeah.
And so it just seemed kind of balanced to me, and you know, I talked to a bunch of people about it, and it just seemed like it made sense, like I would win still. And so we did that, and she sold out. It was crazy when it went up. It was like, you know, to see the feedback that I needed to see, that, you know, I wasn't getting because no one saw my stuff. And so I was seeing like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I love this. And it was like, oh my.
You're like, thank you.
And it just like sold out in minutes, and it was gone. It was just like, whoa. Like, I know that this is mainly because it's her, and she's got this like fan base. It's just loves her, and she's a great person. And it was just really awesome to work with her because we both had the same feelings about empowerment to women and all that sort of stuff, and it was just that was a win for me. I got a lot of new traffic, and that was like I needed that to keep going.
And she probably feels positive from the experience, so you guys may do something again, you know?
Hopefully.
Shout out to her if you're listening. You're not listening, but in case you are. So what other kind of advice, maybe we've covered this, but like, what do you need now? Like, where are you going? What's your, no pressure to put your goals on tape here, but, right?
Well, those are secrets. Secret goals. No, I'm really on the lookout for a showroom right now. It's really been, you know, you can send your line sheets out till you're blue in the face, but you know, people spend their budget at market. It's like, that's where they go. I see it all the time. They tell me, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. It's such a great concept. But, you know, we spent our budget already at market. And so being represented by somebody is really important. So those are the emails that I'm just sending all day. To find somebody who fits with me, and, you know, obviously to find somebody who doesn't carry all the things that look similar to mine.
You do have a unique look for yours, so I wouldn't be too worried about. But
I'm not worried. It's just the hustle.
It is the hustle. It's so nice. So how do you keep yourself? So I'm in her lovely home. How do you keep yourself kind of like motivated day to day to do that?
I don't think I've ever really needed. Like, I've never been low on motivation. I just love what I do so much that it's just like, you know, you get down, but I cannot imagine myself doing anything else. And so I wake up and I go to the computer and I check my emails and I look at the jewels and I love them. And it's like, you know, every day, that's the thing. It's, if you need to, you know, really struggle to find the motivation, then maybe it's not the right career path for you.
I might put that like in quotes below you. Because it's so true. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and everybody wants to like work for themselves and not work for the man. It sucks though. So you have to like really gotta want to do it. You know?
It's, that's the truth. So.
Cool. Let's end it on that note. You gotta want to do it. It's not pleasant.
No.
Cool. I'll link all of her goodness. So